What's the worst thing a teacher's ever said to you?
It is fair to say that mass media has a wide effect on public perceptions on an array of topics, from celebrity gossip to major political stances. It undeniably plays a crucial role in shaping the underlying values, attitudes, and fundamental ideals of any given society. But does this affect your perceptions on education? From traditional media to entertainment media, teachers and education is not an untouched subject. News broadcasting and entertainment media frequently depict schools and teachers in a negative tone, inferring distorted versions and misleading assumptions about the reality of students, teachers, and the learning environment. Specific stereotypes and perceptions of teachers are often displayed in entertainment media, from movies to television to music. Teachers are often intimidating, useless.
My mother baked these cookies for you.
Grab the TV and roll it up front.
We're watching a movie on the first day.
Oh. These cookies suck.
Or actively seek to humiliate students.
Don't read ahead.
No green pen.
No food in class. Bleiben hier in Platz.
Staff as a whole are commonly depicted as being almost as illiterate as the students they teach. Teachers are also often portrayed as people who couldn't make it in their desired professions.
My drama classroom is my haven. It's where I come alive from time to time. I just perform for the kids for a whole lesson, just to give them a sort of benchmark of how things are done, so they can see it somewhat at a professional industry level.
But does this affect your notion on teachers? Some research suggests that media does have an effect on public perceptions on education, as it does on other discourses within society mentioned before. Similarly to entertainment media, broadcasting media has a vast influence on public perception of the quality of education systems, displaying education as a whole in quite a negative light. Education-related topics such as school funding, single-sex schools, and literacy standards are subjects often at the forefront of media discussion. Australia's Gonski School funding model is rated 10th on the OECD's list of education expenditure and can be seen as well above average. However, news channels like Channel 10, with commentators such as Jane Currow and Professor Robert Tierney, have blasted the government for underfunding Australian schools, claiming that this leads to decreased standards of education.
I've been frightened for a long time, but I'm much more frightened now.
Australia's school education system at a tipping point, according to some.
Are we going to invest in and improve and really put energy, effort and commitment into our public education system?
As a result, despite the government spending 5% of the GDP, more than the international average of 5.2%, Australian taxpayers remain highly critical of the government's educational policies, with a developing sense of hostility and distrust towards educational institutions. A diminishing respect for teachers has led to ramifications on their effectiveness to teach, create a positive learning environment, and get the most out of their students. Schools are also undervalued and subject to criticism, having profound consequences on public policy and leading to irrelevant legislation to deal with misrepresented issues. This stands starkly against the media portrayals within well-performing countries such as Finland, where the teaching profession is highly respected. The media's portrayal of education has a huge role to play in this. But what can be done to improve the image of this vital profession, increase the success of our schools, and reshape the face of education perhaps? It has been suggested that the reintroduction of media studies to the Australian curriculum could help counteract the pessimistic views on teaching and education. As Alan de Botton highlights, while we're taught how to identify and analyse various forms of art and literature,
no one ever systematically tells you what on earth you're supposed to do with this stuff that's starting to come at you.
Some studies also suggest for teachers to be proactive in the construction of education discourses in public debates and to construct an active voice in debates on teacher quality and teacher professionalism as a way to improve perceptions on education. Media is one of the most powerful entities in the modern world. It not only provides impartial information, but subjectively promotes ideas, values, and attitudes that seep down into the cultural framework of our society. As we are exposed to the emergence of a digital online environment, the need to recognize the force that is media is pivotal in public perceptions of education. So what do you think? Do frequent portrayals of education translate to your own experiences?